For more on this, we have Fadel Abdul Ghany, the chairman and founder of the Syrian Network for Human Rights. He joins us from Doha. Okay, so now we hear the UN saying, let's no longer prepare for this. Let us draft a resolution. Is this, in your view, going to make any difference?
Thank you for having me. I don't think so. Let's all remind ourselves that those sessions are based on Geneva statement issued in June 2012. More than 3 years later, the Security Council issued the resolution 2245 in December 2015. On September 2019, the Secretary General announced the Constitutional Committee.
Right.
Today, after 6 sessions in October 2021, there is no tangible outcome from this committee till now. We are still at pre-negotiation stage. Almost all of those 9 years, the Syrian regime and the Russia won times. The human rights now crisis is still escalating. Half of the population displaced. So without strict schedule, what I'm going to say, the regime, they don't feel that there is a pressure on him to engage seriously in those negotiations.
Right. What would it take for the regime to finally say, okay, we too are tired of this. It's time to really play ball here?
Without real pressure on his allies, the regime survived due to his allies, mainly the Iranian and the Russia, and will engagement from the other side, who is between two brackets, the liberal countries like the US, the UK, and France, Germany. We will continue those sessions endless, actually. And the regime will manipulate the time as he did almost for all those years. So we are saying in loud voice that the Syrian population are abandoned all of those years, and without real progress in this committee or in the Geneva process, the population are losing more hope about end of this bloody conflict.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you made that point because, you know, it's easy, very easy to blame the Syrian regime here. But in reality, this has been going on for a decade. The entire world has allowed this to go on when you look at the level of suffering among Syrian people.
Indeed, you are totally right. We are blaming the Syrian regime and his allies, but we know that those are a dictatorship. They are against transferring from dictatorship toward democracy. But how about the democratic state, which they are not well engaged in this process? I mean that willing politically to end the conflict. Let's see what happened in Libya when they moved ahead, really moved ahead. They ended and they find out and they sort out the conflict. And what's happened in other conflict, when they really engage, they ended it. But Syria is forgotten actually for them. And even the crimes against humanity still exist till this moment. The forced disappearance, the torture, the displacement, many types of violation still exist.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the suffering of the human rights at the end of their list.
All right, Fadel, thank you so much for joining us. You raised great points.